watching Sammy, the Interviewing Toucan, made possible by the Indiana Young Readers Center. Hey everybody, I'm Sammy and I'm here today with my friend Celeste Williams. Hi Celeste, how are you?
Sammy, it's so good to see you.
Gosh, it's so good to see you as well. I'm very excited to be talking to you today. So to start out, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your connection to Indiana?
I graduated from Ball State University in Muncie, and my first job was in Marion, Indiana. After newspaper jobs there and in Birmingham, Alabama, and Memphis, Tennessee, and Milwaukee, Wisconsin, I ended up at the Indianapolis Star, where I worked until 2003. That's the short answer.
Yeah?
Would you like the long answer?
Sure, why not?
My dad was a minister. I was born in New York City. I grew up half in Jamestown, New York, and half in Detroit, Michigan, where I graduated from Henry Ford High School. And I went 1 year to Michigan State University. Then my family moved to Indiana, where my dad got a job with the governing body of his church. And I transferred to Ball State University, where I graduated in 1979. So that's how I became a Hoosier.
Oh, I love all of that. So you and I actually met through the Indiana Writing Center, which is a wonderful institution in Indianapolis. Do you mind telling us a little bit about the Writing Center?
Well, the Indiana Writers Center is 40 years old. It was founded by a man who decided that people in Indiana needed to know more about writers and writing. And so he founded it and started doing programs with other writers and teaching people how to write. And here we are 40 years later, still going strong. We give classes to people who want to know how to write. We try to amplify the voices of people that you don't hear very often by helping them to write as well. So we do a lot in the community, and we hope it is helping people learn more about writers and writing.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Now, Celeste, you yourself, you're a writer. You were a reporter, as you talked about, but you've also written a play. I have Frederick Douglass's picture here because the play that you wrote was all about his life. Can you talk a little bit about it?
Well, I had never written a play before. I'd done a lot of writing as a reporter, and someone came to me and wanted me to write a play about Frederick Douglass. And I thought, I don't know how to do that, but guess what? I took a playwriting class from the Indiana Writing Center. Yeah. And I learned all about playwriting. And I wrote this play about Frederick Douglass. It also had an Indiana subject as well, because Frederick Douglass had visited Indiana shortly after he had escaped from slavery. And so my play was about how he was received in Indiana when he first escaped from slavery, and then how he was received years later when he came back to visit.
I'm assuming that he was received differently in those two times.
That's true. Because when he first visited in 1843, he was traveling the country with abolitionists. And abolitionists were people who were trying to get rid of slavery. And they stopped at a place in Indiana near Pendleton. And there were people there who didn't want to hear what he had to say. And they beat him up. And he was just a young man then. He was in his 20s, and he survived. They thought they had killed him, but he survived.
Oh, that's such a sad, sad story.
Yeah. And then he went on and became Frederick Douglass that we all know about now, who went around and talked against slavery and wrote a book about his life. And when he came back to Indiana in 1880, there were bands and people cheering, and he was a big hero by then.
Oh, wow. You know, I wish that I knew more about Frederick Douglass, and I really wish that many people knew more about him because he
Me
was such an
too.
amazing speechwriter and such a wonderful proponent of, you know, abolitionism and freeing the slaves and everything like that. He was just so instrumental in that movement. And part of me really wishes that he was just around today, you know?
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. We could use a voice like his today.
Absolutely. Well, you know, the other thing is probably those voices are out there. We just need to listen to them.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
So, Celeste, tell us a little bit more about your writing. Are you working on anything now?
Oh, I'm always working on something. I try to write every day, even if it's not for anybody but me. So I
Yeah.
think that's really important. If you're a writer, if you want to be a writer, that you write every day. I'm doing a couple of things. I'm writing some poetry. I'm writing some fiction, some things I've been working on a long time. Since I've been in the house a lot longer during this last year, I thought, well, why not use that time to revisit some things that I had been working for before? So,
Yeah, I wonder, I bet there's a lot of folks out there that have really delved into writing right now because we really have been spending a lot more time at home this year, haven't we?
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Celeste, another way that you and I are connected are through the Indiana State Library's Letters About Literature program.
I love that program.
Do you want to talk about it or should I talk about it?
Go ahead and you can talk about it and we can talk together about it.
Okay, so Letters About Literature is a program run by the Indiana State Library where students in grades 4 through 12 get to write to an author who's living or deceased, and they get to talk about how one of their works made an impact in how they see themselves or how they see the world. You know, so like a student could read a speech by Frederick Douglass and talk about, you know, how it changed them.
I find there's nothing more inspiring than a kid discovering their love for reading, writing, and literature. So when I was asked to help with this program, I was more than willing. And I met some really fascinating, talented young kids who liked to read and they wanted to write a letter to the people that read some of their favorite books, and they did some wonderful, wonderful things. Yes,
Yay. So, Celeste, I always like to do a show and tell with my authors. Do you have anything there that you want to show and tell with us today?
I do. I'm going to start by showing you these medals.
Oh, fine.
These,
Tell me about the medals.
these medals are medals that I won doing something that has nothing to do with writing. Dragon boat racing.
What? What is that?
Do you know what a dragon boat is?
No, tell us about it.
It's a boat that's 30 feet long and 20 people sit in it and paddle.
Wow.
And I'm part of a team called Indie Survivors. And the
Oh, is that a
reason
play on words?
it
Survivors.
is, and Survivors is a group of women who have had breast cancer.
Mm.
And I had breast cancer back in 2018.
Are you all better now?
I am all better now.
I'm so
And
glad.
I heard about this group of women who have had breast cancer and were survivors that started this dragon boat racing team.
Did you win?
Well, there were two. There's a White River dragon boat race, and our team won third place.
Yay.
And there's another race in Michigan that we won this medal, and that was a second place medal. And this is my paddle.
Oh my goodness, look at that. That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's the other thing I had to show you, my dragon boat paddle.
Oh, I love it. And I also love those racing flags on there. You know, I don't know about you, but whenever I see a racing flag, I get a warm feeling in my heart because I'm an Indiana bird.
Yes, yes,
know?
you are.
And I love the Indy 500 and all of that. I think that's great.
And here's a picture of me in the dragon boat.
Oh, I see it. Oh, that's so wonderful.
We were supposed to go to New Zealand next year for an international festival,
Oh my
but
goodness.
we're going to postpone that for a year because of the pandemic
Right.
and going on with
Yeah.
that.
Gosh. Well, Celeste, this has been so fun talking to you today. Thank you so much for sharing everything, and thank you for your work.
Thank you, Sammy. I think you're a wonderful bird.
Aw, thanks,
Yeah.
Celeste. Okay, I'll talk to you later.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. This is your favorite Hoosier Toucan, encouraging everyone to read local. So long.
Bye.